This segment is sponsored by the Twitch Bounty Board, so shout out to them. I imported a few deck lists that we haven't played before. We're gonna start out with Jayce Heimer, which is a control tempo-y deck. We'll run through the basics of Runeterra here for people that haven't seen it before and aren't super familiar to start. I'd like to play some ranked. I would like Jayce Heimer. Yes, if you ask me, Jeff, what's the #1 thing Runeterra does better than any other digital card game out there is that the audio visuals in Legends of Runeterra are second to none in this digital card game space. Like, the fact that, like, Riot did Arcane's animations in-house, like, show, and all of the animations you're gonna see here in the PC client, they actually look and run identical on the mobile client as well. Yes, their card acquisition model is great. It does free-to-play better than any other digital card game out there. It's very reasonable and easy to have a completely full selection of cards here. Okay, so this does create a fleeting aftershock, hedge transmitter, or progress day. Well, that's a super flexible card. Fleeting means we have to use it that turn. Our opponent is playing Twisted Fate Annie. This is actually one of the other decks I loaded up. Mulligans in Runeterra are partial, so I'm going to choose to mulligan my left and right card. I'm going to keep this flexible answer and then a Mystic Shot in case they have their Annie champion here as an O2 we need to take out. Mana in Runeterra is similar to Hearthstone, where each player gets an extra resource each turn with a twist. If you don't spend your resources in a given turn, you can carry over up to 3 mana across turns. When you summon a tech, we share keywords. Okay. So tech is kind of like a creature type here. We can see this is a tech card. Attacking and blocking in this game is similar to Magic in that one person declares attackers and then the other person declares blockers. With the asterisk that blocking is strictly 1-to-1. The other thing to note about Runeterra is that both players play every turn. So you see that we flipped to the second turn and my opponent and I both gained a mana and refilled our mana here. I play Financer here, who manifests a spell from her hand, very similar to the draft mechanic in Arena. We look at 3 options and we get to pick one. I would love a progress day.
Awesome day for progress.
The thing that kind of differentiates their turn versus my turn is that I declare attackers on my turn versus they declare attackers on their turn. And whose turn it is to declare attackers is indicated by who has the attack token here. So we'll see this flip back and forth, turn over turn here. In addition to units, there are also spells. Spells have a few different speeds: fast, slow, and burst. Bursts just happen. Your opponent can't respond to them. Slow spells and skills go on the stack in the center that you can respond to things with. So, for example here, they played the Sentry that's looking to stun my 1/3, and in response, I'm going to play Mystic Shot on their Annie. You can see here when I put this on the stack, it shows cracks on Annie, telling me that she's going to die from this spell if it resolves as is. I can also mouse over the eye here that shows the board state what's going to happen after the stack resolves. So you can see when I mouse over the eye, it says, okay, Annie's going to go away, and there's a purple swirl on my Adaptatron signifying that it's going to be stunned. Yeah, the eye is actually amazing. It's like a built-in judge for you before you make decisions. Arena had a client patch that made it so we could no longer log in. So we flipped over to using functional software. Grant Hextech allies 1/1 everywhere when you play a 6+ cost spell this game. That's pretty good. I guess I kind of want to wait to play Hextech Handler after I've played a 6+ cost spell.
Let's get moving.
I'm going to start the turn by attacking. My 2-1 can trade with their 3-2 if they block. So quick attack is first strike with the asterisk that it only works when you're attacking, so it doesn't work on defense. Now they tap down to just one resource. I think I'm going to go ahead and play Hextech Handler out now, because I can carry over resources across turns, but I can only carry over up to 3. So if I don't spend some of my resources here, my opponent, my mana, I would have some mana unused. And now we can Thermo Beam to finish Annie. This does give my opponent a window to kill this before I can play a 6-mana spell now, but killing their card here before it can see them do things sounds good. I guess this gives them an opportunity to play Twisted Fate to gold card my Hextech Handler, but they're just playing the Eye of Nagamoris here. That's good for us. So they're not killing my handler is ideal. I think we just play Heimerdinger here.
Answers, I have them.
I have them. So, Heimerdinger, kind of like a young Pyromancer variation. When you cast a spell, you get a turret in your hand that has different stats based on, and keywords, based on the cost of the spell that you cast, and your turrets are free. I think I'm attacking with my 3-2 to start here. One of the nice things about starting my turn by attacking is that it kicks priority over to my opponent, expecting them to make a play first. So, if I Vengeance their 2-2 here, it will trigger this and give tech allies +1/+1 everywhere. And you can see here, the eye even shows me that's going to happen. So if I Vengeance, my Dorko lives here and makes things bigger. So let's give that a try. And also, casting this gives me a Floor Be Gone here, which is lovely. Now, they could have another removal spell in response here to still take this out before it hits them. But if they don't have more damages here, we get a pretty good back and forth. Oh, also, the music on this board, the music in this game is determined by what game board you play on. And this game board is a KDA game board, which is Riot's K-pop band. And I can click this toggle to change what song it plays. This is fleeting, so it will disappear. Yeah, not only does the audio work, but the game board controls the audio, and I can control it on this game board. Yes, Runeterra has 2 primary game modes. Runeterra has 2 primary game modes, Constructed, as well as a Slay the Spire style single player game mode. Is the music quiet? It sounds fine in my headset. Maybe it's a headphone versus speakers thing. All right, so I want to use some of my mana this turn. I guess I could just pass and like take the open attacks. I could also just play the production surge though. Spend all your mana to summon turrets. I kind of like that. This like works towards getting my Heimer leveled too. Oh yeah, our first champion level up, champ. Heimer has leveled. Now, there is a 6-unit limit on the game board. So I will need to overwrite one of these smaller turrets to play this one. Waiting on my opponent to make a decision here before I can play my Armored Stomper out. And they've made a decision to concede. I accept.
Truly remarkable.
So Runeterra's ladder is best of one only. They have what they refer to as gauntlets available that are available, I think, Friday morning through Monday night that lead into their seasonal tournaments, and those tend to be best of 3. And their best of 3 in this game is a multi-deck best of 3 format, more similar to Hearthstone. So you bring 3 decks, you ban 1 deck on each side, and then you play a best of 3 with the remaining 2 decks. I do not have the Runeterra overlay installed currently. It was screwing up some other stuff I had in my system. Okay, so they're playing Nautilus Maokai, which is kind of like a Go Big Tron style deck. So I think I want to mulligan these cards to look for my cheaper bottom end. I think I'm going to keep Jayce. Maybe we don't. We're attacking on odds, which means we don't attack the turn that we play this. I'm going to full mulligan here looking for like 1s and 2s, I think. How is the economy in this game? This game has the most player-friendly in-game economy that you will find anywhere. You can buy wild cards directly. It costs approximately $25 to buy any tiered deck outright, and it's very easy and reasonable to fully free to play this game. The most expensive card type is $3 per copy, and those are for champions, and you can only have 6 champions per deck. So $18 for 6 champions is the bulk of any deck. The other rarities of cards cost 10 cents, 30 cents, and $1.10 if I recall correctly. But yeah, 25 to 30 bucks. If you're someone that doesn't like free-to-playing things, you can buy any deck outright in Runeterra for like 40 bucks or less, and most comp decks end up being 25 to 30. What rarities of cards you're playing dictate the cost. I would love a Shock Blast.
I'm your man.
Now, so this is a good example of Runeterra's priority and attacking and blocking system. I could play Hextech Handler out here before I attack to attack with it this turn. Your things can attack the turn you play them. However, if I take the opportunity to play Hextech Handler here, my opponent will then get the opportunity to play blockers out. Whereas if I open on attack, start my turn by attacking, my opponent does not get a chance to deploy blockers here. I suppose they could have the new Spawn a Tentacle card that makes a card at burst speed to get a blocker. So maybe I don't want to attack with the 1/1, but I think I want to open on attacking with my 2/1 here to play around the Nagamora's card.
Precious worth me twice as much.
That is a Jowl Hunters 4/1. I think I'm going to go ahead and Vile Feast that. It does 1 damage. It makes us a Spooter. Spooter. Appreciate everybody hanging out for the Runeterra sponsored segment, by the way. Just great, easy way to support my content is to hang out while we play this afternoon. Magic, I was planning to do more Magic Arena, but that being the ever quality software Magic Arena is no longer letting people log in after its latest client patch. So we're hanging out playing a sweet other game. Are attacking with their 3/2 lifesteal. Happy to block. If you're interested in checking out Runeterra after seeing us play, you can just find it on Android or iOS in their app stores, or you can get it on the Riot launcher. And again, I think we just start the turn by attacking here, so that way my opponent does not have the opportunity to play blockers before we get in. Let's go, people. Hopefully they play out a good Shock Blast target here. I'd love to get to zap something. Sick. Wish granted. Now, my opponent's deck is almost deep. Their deck is, you've seen a lot of cards flipping up in the center of the screen for my opponent's deck. That's them self-milling those cards. Because a number of the cards in their deck get a bonus when their deck has 15 cards or less in it, or they are deep. Yeah, there's been a ton of really good small quality of life improvements in terms of the client. Experiencing Runeterra again after being away for a little bit just reminds me how great, right, this is a software company. They just like actually get it and care about their product. I think I want to save the vengeance for something bigger here. I think I'm just production surging. Make some turrets here. If you mill out, you do lose the game. This deck does have, the opponent's deck does have a few cards in it that put cards back into their deck though as well though. So they have some ways to kind of get around that. Okay, so they get to Jal Hunter's Challenger KO something here. But then we're going to have pretty good start the turn by attacking attacks again next turn. They only have one blocker here. They're attacking for 12, so they need to block at least the 3-2. And even then, that would put them to 1, which is not very smart against our Shock Blast deck. They block my Quick Attacker here. They go to 2. They have a removal spell here as well. They have 9 mana and could have faster burst spells of their own to interact with my board here to stay alive. Ooh, they have a couple. Okay, Jettison. Oh, they're going deep here. So you see the animation on their deck there. They are now deep, which makes their thing 3/3 larger. And they are grasping Grasp of the Undying. This one. I think that's fine. We'll let this happen, and then we will Shock Blast to finish this off. Plus dome them to 4. We'll see if they have one of their big payoffs here this turn. That's not a particularly large payoff. I'm going to start by Flash of Brilliance here, which gets me a spell and refills my spell mana. So it's kind of a free roll in terms of resources. A Flash again here. That's kind of cute. So I could copy this to this. I could also just Production Surge though too. Might just do that. This makes some tech guys here that share their keywords across.
See how handsome I do?
These things are elusive, which means that they can only be blocked by their elusive creatures. Think flying adjacent. That's true. I am not deep. The Hextech Transmogulator turning one of these into another T-Hex could be very good here. So they're dead on board to this attack unless they have some type of interaction here with their 9 mana. Okay, this draws them a card. You can still see here they're going to -5. The eye says they're dead, so I'm going to click resolve. The eye taking the guesswork out of how does this interaction work really helps speed along being able to learn the game. Than having to be like, okay, I have to cast this card, and if it works the way I think it works, it's good, and if it doesn't, I lose the game on the spot. Is nice. I can no longer count things down. Well, let's be honest. Most of us couldn't count before the eye either, right? Yes, a lot of the UI stuff, meaning you don't have to even scroll over the eye in a lot of instances, is fantastic. Is Vile Feast good into Annie? She's 2 toughness, right? I think this is a full mulligan. I really like a Mystic Shot my opener against their Annie deck. Yes, the sharing keywords with your turret seems super powerful for Heimer, for sure. The Forge Chief here gives us a spell mana every time she strikes.
Gear up. Let's go, people.
Well, so I think it's important to remember when people talk about the League UI is that, like, the League client is, like, basically Magic the Gathering online in terms of being old, right? This is close. Harrowing is like a really good top end play, but this is like an illegal contraption, just like a 5/5 stat line, which is probably pretty good here. I think I'm gonna take the stat line. This counts down 10, and then it advances every time they cast a spell or skill, and then it eventually makes a big boom boom. Speaking of big boom booms, they just made it rain and killed our board. And obviously, if you ever miss a play like that, there's a client log here on the left side, so you can see exactly what happened. Because like any reasonably complete client, there's a history here. To the people saying leagues had updates to their client, like, yeah, Moto has updates to their client too, but anybody that's worked in software will tell you that working with a piece of software that was initially a legacy piece of software gives you inherent hurdles that you're just not going to have starting from scratch more recently. All right, this can have Challenger or Quick Attack. I think I'm going to take Quick Attack so we can be more proactive here. Yeah, Legacy Tech Deck is brutal. Tech Debt is brutal even when you have a lot of resources like Riot has. I think I want a illegal contraption before we attack here. Get a 5/5 to go in with. The downside to making the 5/5 here is if they play the Stun Spider and then a Ravenous Flock, they could kill my Jayce before it gets to attack, but I like the 5/5 here.
Gotta go with the flow.
Let's get started.
Pick a unit, the next time it's dealt 1 or more damage, kill it this round, and then they hit a Blade's Edge. So they 2-for-1 that. We'll take that.
Let's do this.
How do we feel about Adaptatron into Production Surge, chat? I think I dig it. This thing's getting ready to pop off. This creates the tie bulk in hand, right? When I'm summoned, grant allies everywhere one attack for the rest of the game. All your spells and skills deal an extra damage. Would they play him? Draw 2, sure. Yeah, the person memeing about the spectator client is a dig at Magic Arena. For people that are new to the channel, Magic's the primary card game that I play, and it's, well, that was whelming. I wanted keywords for my Adaptatron. This thing has Overwhelm, too. This kills everything. I think I'm just passing. I guess I could Forge Chief into Thermogenic Beam here. Then I only take 6 next turn, and then we try and kill them with Jayce the following turn. That could be an angle, too, and then we save this as like a break glass in case of emergency button. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Mystic Shot is a wonderful draw. What's my Jayce level do? First time you cast a big Spellytron, copy it.
Keep up, keep up.
Tomorrow has never looked so good.
So the big guy that they played boosted their cards everywhere. So even their other cards that were like in their deck and in their hand. You know, all of the champion level up animations are just tops of this game. They're so good.
Through the coral.
Alright, we're gonna need to shoot one of these. The opponent's deck has a number of pieces of direct damage in it, so we need to try and avoid getting burned out. Yeah, it gives an extra damage to their spells too. So like, they're even better at burning us out. We could realistically die from 7 here, I think. I think we'll kick the tires on their deck a little bit after this. This is another deck I imported that someone said they thought I'd enjoy. It looks sweet. Although I don't think the build that we have has Zap in it. In a different list. That's lethal, right? Nope, we're going to 1. I'm in danger. I assume they're out of resources here, so I would wager they kill us when they untap.
If it's a people problem,
Well, if we're not dead, this helps a lot.
love me some.
Drain 5 from a unit gives us life back. Scale of 1 to dead. Dead side of the scale. If I kill my own thing, do I live here? Nope, still die.
Replicating the power spike. Well, that could have gone better.
Alright, let's blast off some shark cannons and play their deck. Let's do... It was Annie Twisted Fate. Let's give it a go here. Our version's playing Rex, because Rex is my boy. The arena patch disabled our ability to log into the client, so we switched over to functional software. Draven Darius. Those are two aggressive champions. Honestly, Blade's Edge and Death Sand are probably great cards to keep. I think I'm going to keep all of these against what's likely an aggro deck. So, Fortune Croaker deals damage to itself and an ally to draw a card. So I think I'm going to lead on Pool Shark on 1, even though it giving me a fleeting card next turn is likely doesn't do anything, just so I can play Fortune Croaker to draw a card. Ooh, but this is a skill game, so we drew Annie. Lovely.
Come on, Tibbers. It's playtime.
That is a champion variation. They've added alt arts to this game. What should do? I deal 2 damage to my blocker. If it's dead or gone, I deal 2 damage to the enemy nexus instead. Croaker. The Ravenbloom Conservatory, getting this down seems super appealing.
What's the conservatory?
And I guess I can attack with this, right? Because I have a Blade's Edge, so if they block with the 4-3, I get to kill whatever they put on it. And she triggers herself and this. Yep, you can see her skill, and the spell kill this, and then she lives. So she levels up when she's seen us cast 6+ fast, slow spells or skills. So our goal is to kind of have that happen ASAP. Well, go ahead and Arachnoid Sentry this Dorko, and then we can Ravenous Flock it to take it out.
You pay first.
Our deck seems pretty good to like this small creature aggro that they're playing. So we can level her on demand starting next turn. She just needs to see 2 more. Oh, and she sees her own skill. So now just 1 more goes. Prime Summon, grant can't block to the weakest enemy. Last breath, create a Risen Reckoner in hand. Wow, that's really good. Oh my gosh, this isn't just one it's seen. It reduces it for everyone you've played in the game. That's incredible. So you don't even need to have this on 1. I'm gonna Blade's Edge this so we can get her leveled.
I want to play a game of hide and burn.
Stun an enemy, then deal 2 damage to all stunned enemies. Tibbers is here, chat.
My axe is ready.
God, that animation is so good, chat. That is so good. Good God, man.
Just the way you like.
Attack, I deal 4 to my blocker and stun it. If it's dead or gone, deal 4 to the enemy nexus instead. I think I'm gonna kill this damaged Dorko, and then we're gonna slam here. Annie's visuals are really good. Like, just actually next level. The artwork in this game is so good.
This is gonna hurt for you.
Looking pretty dead. Those blocks say they're dead, Chip. So long, friend.
Let's go make some more friends.
They live it, they block Annie instead of the 7-6. Yeah, but like they're still not winning that game, right? Like they're not, there's no way they're killing me next turn. You got back into arena. Look at that. Only took an hour for them to figure out their login servers. Mono and Nivea. Okay, so they're like a kill all the things control deck. Captain Pharaoh, I think, is our best card in this matchup. And I think even though it's an 8-drop, we just like keep it in our opener because it's just so good. He makes, in addition to being an 8/8 overwhelm, he makes 2 copies of Decimate.
Come out, wherever you
Or there's Zombie Anivia. I mean, Zombie Anivia is still usually a kill all the things deck, right? They're still like a control deck at their core. You got into the client, and you're getting a weird error trying to start a match. Wizards of the Coast.
Come on in.
Oh, let's see. I would say never change, but please, Magic Arena, please change. Draw 2 cards, burst, make a 2/2 is really solid.
Let's take this outside.
Let's start the turn by attacking here, because they want to block either of our things with Tavern Keeper. We can finish them off with Blade's Edge or Make It Rain, depending on what else we want to cast next turn.
this way, that way. Burning.
I've carved meat bigger than you.
Finish that off with the Blade's Edge. I assume poor Annie's gonna die here. Edge. That being said, chat, Annie died there, but they spent a 5-mana card killing my 1-drop. So in terms of tempo, that plays pretty big for us.
Go on then.
We'll see if we're able to convert it to anything useful. I'm only gonna play one of these 1/2s here because it draws a fleeting card. Yes, hand size limit is a hard cap of 10. If you go to draw a card and are at the limit, it burns the card instead and gets rid of it. You're at 8 of 10, so when we play this draw 2, it'll put us to 9 of 10. And we can pool Shark next turn, this turn as well. Blocks. Deal. Alright, well now I've got the green light to play things out and start attacking. I don't have more sweeper mana this turn. Leveling Annie is probably not something that happens in this type of matchup. Alright, Fortune Croaker is a nice one. Get to play that and draw a card. You drew in a Nivea there.
The spirit of winter awakens.
Nivea deals 1 damage to all enemies when it attacks.
If I kill you, I don't want you, stupid.
Can we go ahead and Culling Strike the Nivea here? Just so they can't open on attacks with her, and then make it rain. We'll clean the egg out next turn. We also want to get our hand down to 8 cards because... Oh, never mind. We already drew our fleeting card. So, Anivia turns back into...
We each died, then found home.
Let's go Arachnid Sentry, stun the Anivia. We might actually get to level Annie here. Yeah, she's gonna level, right? Now I get to tell this to get flocked. And then hopefully this second Make It Rain kills both the eggs. This hits 1 to 3 different targets, so ideally it's hitting these 2. Perfect. There's an Annie level up, which is sick.
I want to play a game of hide and burn.
Now, noteworthy here that Runeterra's Sweeper costs 9 Ruination, and my opponent has 1 leftover spell mana. So if I elect to try and play Tibbers pre-combat, my opponent could sweep my board before I attack. So I want to start the turn by attacking here, and then hopefully finish them with Riptide Rex.
Come from the dark.
I am not super familiar with Evelyn or her package to give thoughts on her.
Return to us. My time.
This is such a good boy, chat. Look at him. How could you not love Rex? Look how happy he is. Shooting off his bang bangs.
Listen. Stay calm.
Okay, so they did that, obviously, but we just killed them with Captain Pharaoh next turn, right? So we'll pass here. And they obviously get to attack with a bunch of things here. But our board's all gonna die from the Anivia triggers anyways, so we just have a bunch of free blocks. Oh, Rex is living, technically. Sure. So if we do this, I go to 7. Hey, Dude Light, thanks for the 43 months. Welcome back. Actually, I think I'm probably better off just cashing in the Rex for a gain life here. Twisted Fate after doesn't really do anything, right? Yeah, there's only one Anivia dying. Yeah, I just chat. They're at 7. I just like play Captain Pharaoh, and I have a spell mana, and we're going up to 10. It's like you double decimate next turn. Plus, I have another 1, 2 here, even if they gain a little bit of life. Like if they have a grasp of the Undying, they're only gonna go to 10. So we have lethal through 1 grasp, and they've already played 1 grasp. So the odds of them having 2 are low. I suppose they could have like a grasp plus a. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'm supposed to open attacks here actually, and like force them to have the frostbite to get my overwhelm hit in. Yeah, I'm totally supposed to open attacks here. Hopefully it doesn't matter. Alright, so they're still dead to this. And if they have another Vile Feast, they're dead to the Blade's Edge. They could have had another Vile Feast, right? But the Blade's Edge has them covered. That's like a sweet. We played a couple other decks on Monday, I think it was, and I kind of bounced off of them. Both of the ones we've tried to dare to flame more my speed. This TF Annie deck is fun. I like Annie's play better, and she seems like a. It's a shame that Zoe's kind of in a bad spot because Annie and Zoe seem like they'd be a fun combination. Yeah, Annie's like a more aggressive Zoe. Yeah, Tarkin's in a bad spot right now. Okay, so Pike Rek'Sai is the slot machine deck, the lurk deck. In these and keep these. Does deal 1 kill any of their lurkers? I forget what their set lines are. Ooh, these 2 drops are nice. Offer this here since we have the Blade's Edge. Trade these off, I think. I'm doing this now so that way they can't just open attacks with their lurker next turn. They have to like play something out. And hopefully they just have 1 lurker to play out that dies to Death's Hand. That one does not die to Death's Hand. Sedge. So, Lurk says when they attack, if the top card of their deck is also a lurker, their lurk allies everywhere get +1. So I'll block our 2/1 here, so this dies to make it rain, which is nice. Sounds good, Martian. Leave it there. I'll check it later. Yeah, I think we'll eye here into an attack with 2 2/2s. Sounds great. This card is so powerful. Burst speed creatures, burst speed units are so good in this game, and this attaching it to draw a card is great.
When we look ahead, we know how to prepare.
Wait, 2 random lurkers in your hand. They lurk, chat. They lurk. Oh, great. So I can I can culling strike this though, right? Just like the perfect opportunity to do so. This is huge. Much like the size of this beast, this is huge.
Watch ahead.
You pay first.
I'll block here, so that way my make it rain cleans up next turn.
Let's go make some friends, Tibbers.
Do I want to pull Shark? I'm gonna wait on pull Shark, because ideally I want to wait until this can cast Rex, I think. Like, I have other things I want to do with my resources next turn already. If I didn't have a play lined up next turn, I think I'd do this, but I have plays lined up already. So let's start with the make it rain here. So I'll have a total of 7 mana next turn, so I probably want to wait one more. If I attack with Annie, they could block, unfortunately, and I can only deal 2 extra, so we can't quite push through here. Now I think I'll attack with this, though, because if they block, we can tell this to get flocked next turn. This, which lets Death's Hand clean these up. And then next turn we'll have 8 resources, so we can play Pull Shark out here, and Annie's looking to level up 2 here if they don't have interaction. I hate Pike. I hate Pike, shit.
Where do you stand on
So heckin' rude.
I don't change fate, but I can see it. Oh, I hear them. Don't hold your breath.
Disintegrate's a real powerful card. Observatory is gonna pippity pop off here real quick. I am not going to make it to any Pokemon Unite stuff this afternoon, unfortunately. Well, gold card here is insane, right?
Deal me in.
That keeps Rek'Sai from attacking. And then we have Eye of the Nagaboris here to make a 2/2 to block this. Yes, yeah, we're gonna do Runeterra for a little bit more, and then we're gonna play some Step for sure. Let's open on this, because if I find a... What's it called? The deal one? A Blade's Edge, we can do this? Ooh, that's a Sentry. I think we'll just pass here and see what they do. If they hit another cheap lurker with that, that generation there. It's not good for us. And that qualifies. All right, so we're gonna have to take a hit here, I think. I guess I'd rather put this one here, right? Because then I can Scorched Earth it. And then Rek'Sai goes away. Yeah, I like the Jayce Heimer deck press to pick. That's fine. I think I like this one more, but I wasn't unhappy with that one. I just like this one better. Anti bulk here and see what we get. This actually worked out pretty okay here because I get to Scorched Earth this one, which lets my Twisted Fate survive. Although we're not in a great spot.
Come out, wherever you are.
I just don't have good attacks here. I have a Sandstone Charger here too. Great. Them playing that out, giving us a chance to Arachnoid Sentry here is huge. God, I hate Pike chat so much. Alright, we've been combo killed. So Pike levels up, and when Pike levels up, he gets big mad and axes our whole board. We're treading water there for a little bit, but that'll do big because they have attacks now. I was gonna let them attack me, but they're gonna sit here and waste more time. We'll bounce out before they get their big swing. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Lurk deck's play patterns. It's like never been tier 1. It's just like kind of annoying. Pike doesn't really offer much counterplay. Yeah, their draw was pretty good. And that's one of the reasons why I don't really love their deck, because like it's largely just decided by the quality of their draw and how many lurks they hit. There isn't a ton of agency in that particular matchup, no matter what you're playing a lot of the time. Yeah, the fact that you can't remove your own units to stop Pike's spell is a big oof. It feels like there should be some amount of counterplay there. There's just not. I would love an Annie on one. Disintegrate sounds good. Honestly, this whole hand's just kind of fine, huh? All of this, yes, please.
Let's go make some friends, Tibbers.
Make some friends, Tibbers. So this thing hurts itself to spawn, which makes their tentacles larger. Banning. Summoned, plants a chime on the top card of your deck. Support grants an ally +1/+1. Grant is pretty big, so it gives it +1/+1 permanently. Oh, and it's elusive. This card's pretty good. Do they play any cards typically that would punish me dealing a damage to Annie? Like, is Make It Rain common in their deck? Does anybody know? That's a pretty common bilge water card. That's something I should play around here. Someone Make It Rain. I think I'm just gonna pass and try and keep Annie alive here. So they added these champions that have what they call an origin, which is kind of like a different way to approach colors. So you could put any cards that plant chimes here. So you kind of like meet this condition instead of... Hired Guns by Annie. Kind of like a companion, except they dictate what colors of cards go in your deck, basically. Or cards, instead of, they add flexibility, or they restrict it a way that it's weird. It's a deck building thing, yeah? It's champions that are their own region, is the best way to put it. They are their own color. They, like, build their own color from cards across other colors. Do I try and save Annie this turn, or is she just doomed? Can I level Annie before she dies? Maybe? I'm gonna pass here. Blade's Edge plus Disintegrate saves Annie here. In my defense, Precipic, I already had this deck loaded up before they beat us. But yes, we did get beat by this and then decided I wanted to do this. So we attack with this, which gets us to 4 out of 6. And then I can play my Spooter friend here to stun something. And then the eye will be our 6 speller skill for next turn to level Annie up. And obviously Annie will still be vulnerable after she levels, but when she levels, she gives us Tibbers, and our future Annies will subsequently be leveled. Oh, eye doesn't go on the stack, it won't level Annie. That's fine. I can play Disintegrate, right? I can just play this for no value to level her. Same difference. Thank you for the call out, though. Or if they play anything pre-combat, I get Arachnoid Sentry to level her, which is nice.
Truth better. Truth is no bad thing.
First the smoke, then the fire, then the timber!
Yeah, I'm looking forward to season 2 of Arcane as well. Show's great. Alright, who's hooking Annie? If it's the tentacles, we get to disintegrate them, so that's lovely.
If I kill you, I will fortune, stupid.
Stupid. That's pretty close to bumping off. I don't think I wanted Tibbers here. Getting damage marked on their things makes my Tibbers better as a follow-up because he stuns something and then deals 2 to all stunned and damaged enemies. They know that this is dying, so that makes sense to throw it away. Then we play Raven Bloom Conservatory out. Then that perfectly gives us 3 spell mana to carry over, which is nice. Get smashed yet.
Yourself.
Now this card is Gasoline. I think we're probably dead here. Alawe's get ready to pop off here too. I assume they just open attacks here, right? Do this. See what we get. I guess I could tell the Tentacle to get flocked to deny the Ilawe level. Oh wait, she levels herself, right? Yeah, she levels herself, never mind. So if I Death's Hand this, Tibbers will clean these 3 out next turn.
Life has so much to offer.
Oh gosh, and they're just drawing cards. The chimes are popping now. I assume we're dead. We wiggle our way out of this. Chime. I just don't have time to time vault first, right? Okay, so I think I want to flock this so that way it goes away. Yeah, I'm told, I've had fun playing down here at the bottom of the ladder, but I've been told by other people that play a lot of Runeterra that their competitive format at the top is pretty bad right now. This deck that our current opponent is playing, and then one other deck are most of what people play. Already card games and 1 and 2 deck formats, shit. Yeah, and you can see, we just like our deck was kind of fun and sweet into other things, but like, this game didn't feel particularly close. And that's kind of, that you see that in other card games too, right? Where like, the casual ladder when we're like down here in silver is like mostly fine, regardless of what the competitive format looks like, because down here most people don't care, but I'm sure as we get, if we got higher up, it would be more of the same. All right, flip over to Snap-a-Lap in a little bit, shall we?